Our next speaker is Dany, Dany Cajas, who is an incredibly active member of our Discord community. So if you ever have frankly, any type of optimization question or any scientific computing question, just roll into our Discord, ask it, and chances are Dany's going to reply before any of us get around to it. And we are always really appreciative of his kind of the outsized role he plays in our community. And we'd encourage all of you to come join the Discord and become part of that community as well. But I'm going to pass the floor to Dany.
Okay. Hi, how are you? I am Dany Cajas. I am the creator of Riskfolio-Lib, a portfolio optimization library for Python. In this small talk, I'm going to explain you how Riskfolio-Lib helps asset managers to build optimal portfolios. Okay, so first we start with the question how asset managers build a portfolio. Well, usually asset managers have a wide universe of assets and models to choose. As you can see, well, here in the slide, they have several instruments like cash, fixed income, equities, and subclasses also. And they have two options to build a portfolio or an asset allocation. So they can use heuristics like the 60/40 fixed income, the one-end portfolio. Heuristics are like rules that comes from the experience or from some empirical studies. But the problem with the heuristics are that they can be customized too much to meet the investor's needs. On the other hand, we have the quant approach that is portfolio optimization that is very flexible because we can integrate several kind of constraints, objectives that can help to meet the investor's needs. And to help asset managers to build portfolio optimization, to use portfolio optimization, I built Riskfolio-Lib. Sorry. But what is portfolio optimization? Well, it's the process to select the best possible combination of assets according to a set of desired objectives and constraints using mathematical techniques. In this case, portfolio optimization has some advantage like the diversification. Well, when you invest in several assets, you reduce the risk. Also, it leads to more efficient portfolios in a risk-return sense. Also allows to build custom portfolios designed to meet investors' needs. This is very important because several investors have some special requirements, and also the government puts some special requirements when you build portfolios. Diversifications to include too many assets, and it also increase the cost of rebalancing and also the cost to manage the portfolio. Well, portfolio optimization is more suitable for friction in markets and liquid assets because we require more information. So for instruments like private equity that has few information, is not appropriate to use portfolio optimization. Another disadvantage is that portfolio optimization are complex mathematical models, are hard to implement and also are hard to solve. And this is difficult also because it's difficult to explain the portfolio optimization models to the senior management because most of them, they don't know too much about mathematics. Okay, and then I create Riskfolio-Lib to help asset managers to test several kind of portfolio optimization models. Now it has 3,781 GitHub stars and has more than 1 million downloads. I started this project in 2018 with CVXPY.4, and I released the first version of this package in March 2nd, 2020. Okay, Riskfolio-Lib allows users to use two kind of models: the convex portfolio optimization and the machine learning asset allocation that is based on hierarchical clustering. In the case of convex portfolio optimizations, I have 5 groups of models. So the first group is the risk-return trade-off. This is the classical approach where it's based on the Markowitz model, but it's extended to any convex risk measure. So this phi represents a convex risk measures. Okay, also we have the risk parity. This is an approach where instead of splitting the wealth of the client or the investor, we split the risk among the assets. So So for example, if we have 10% of total risk in the portfolio, we are going to assign 5% to one asset, 2% to the other asset, and in this way. And in the risk parity, we have three approaches. Well, the least squares. In Riskfolio-Lib has the least squares that is only available for the variance. The risk budgeting, that is a general approach that works for any convex risk measure. And also the semi-definite approach that allow us to include this part that is the risk contribution constraints. And also this approach can be combined with the risk return trade-off. So this approach allow asset managers to include risk contributions constraints in the risk return trade-off models. Also, we have the worst case optimization. In this case, these kind of models in Riskfolio-Lib allow us to estimate the optimal portfolio, assuming that the parameters take the worst values. So, for example, it works well in Riskfolio-Lib. I only include the models that use the variance and the vector of expected returns. So we assume that this vector of expected returns and covariance matrix belongs to some uncertainty sets, and then we optimize assuming that they take the worst case in these uncertainty sets. Another model that is included in Riskfolio-Lib is the factor risk contribution constraints. So for those asset managers that invest using risk factors, you can, with this model, you can control the amount of risk from each risk factor. But this model is only available for the variance. And also, Riskfolio-Lib has the ordered weighted average model. That is a model that allows us to express several risk measures like the conditional value at risk, the Gini mean difference, the tail Gini, the range, as one expression, just changing this weight vector. Okay, these are the five kind of models that Riskfolio-Lib can solve using the convex optimization. Here there is a small resume where I can show, for example, the name of the risk measures, the fee in the other slides, and how these risk measures can be modeled. So for example, the variance can be modeled using the second order comprogramming and also the semi-definite programming. Or for example, here the entropic value at risk is modeled using the exponential comprogramming. So in Riskfolio-Lib, I use all the cons available in Riskfolio-Lib. And also, convex optimization allows Riskfolio-Lib to incorporate additional features, such as, for example, logarithmic returns instead of arithmetic returns, also include linear constraints on assets, also include tracking error constraints, also create long-short portfolios, and also add constraints on risk measures, among other investor needs. In the case of integer optimization, in Riskfolio-Lib, I include integer optimization to model some special constraints, such as cardinality constraints. So this is to limit the number of assets in the portfolio. Also, cardinality constraints on sets or asset classes. This is for limit the number of, for example, of sectors or industries in a portfolio. For example, only invest in two sectors like industrials and financials. Mutually exclusive constraints that, for example, here, we make that we can invest in two assets at the same time. Joint investment constraints that makes that you have to invest in two assets at the same time. And here also neighborhood constraints and cluster constraints that these constraints comes from the network representation of asset relationships. Also, Riskfolio-Lib has this module for machine learning asset allocation. But we are not going to talk about this. And also, Riskfolio-Lib has several features to plot, for example, the efficient frontier in several risk measures. For example, here we have the standard deviation and also the mean C-bar efficient frontier. Also has plots about the risk contribution per asset, the risk contribution per risk factor, the histogram of the portfolio, the network representation of the asset relationships. And here are some links for Riskfolio-Lib. And also I wrote a book called Advanced Portfolio Optimization. In this book, all the examples related to convex optimization and integer optimization are made using Riskfolio-Lib. And now I would like to show you an example here using Riskfolio-Lib. I don't know if you can see well my screen. First, we have to download data. Well, I download the data because it has 270 assets. Then we calculate the returns. And then here we can optimize. For example, I am going to use the solver mosaic, and I am going to calculate the mean risk using the standard the variance. So for example, if we calculate this, it's very fast, only takes 2 seconds for 270 assets. Also, we can here change the risk measure to entropic value at risk, for example, and we can calculate very fast. So the advantage of Riskfolio is that just changing some parameters, for example, here the Sharpe ratio, also the return risk ratio, we can estimate, we can here calculate or we can test several asset allocations. So for example, here we can see the composition of this portfolio, also the composition here by industry, by sector. Also, here we can see the composition by sector. And also here below, we can add constraints because we can see that he's highly concentrated by sectors. We can add some constraints to here, some constraints to change the asset allocation by sector. Here. And here we have changing the asset allocation, but I want to change the risk measure to make the same risk measure above, also Sharpe. Here. It's very easy to use Riskfolio-Lib. You only need to know the parameters here, and also, well, use a function, and also you can see here the composition. So here we can see the constraints. So all assets less than 10%, consumer staples and healthcare lower than 15%, utilities and real estate higher than 5%, and all classes in the class sector lower than 18%. And if we can see here, consumer staples and healthcare lower than 15%, all the industries are lower than 18%, and real estate and utilities are higher than higher equal than 5%. So using Riskfolio-Lib for real applications is very easy and is very fast. And also Riskfolio-Lib is a well-documented library. You can see here in the example section, it has 53 examples. All the examples include all the steps. For example, here, I open here and it includes all the steps since the download, since you download the data, and how you can estimate here the portfolios, for example, here the efficient frontier, and also all the functions that you can see here. You can reproduce the examples here in the Google Colab. Also, I upload this presentation in my GitHub. So I didn't share this in the chat, but I am going to share this in the chat. And here we have the slides and the Jupyter notebook, and this Jupyter notebook if you want to try it. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dany. There's one question from the chat I'm going to ask, and then we'll move on to the next. Are there any situations where you can think of that breaking the DCP guidelines, or where you had to change the expression so that it would compile and was compatible with DCP? If you have helpful thoughts on validation, that would be helpful.
Can you repeat the question? I can listen well.
Here, I can also send it in chat. The question is, are there any situations you can think of that break DCP guidelines, or where you had to change the expression so it compiles?
No, in any situation. So because, well, in most cases, most of the expressions used in portfolio optimizations can be expressed using all the functions, all the atomic functions in CVXPYs, and also all the con helpers. So using con modeling, it's very easy to model all the requirements. So as I show in my book, well, if someone read my book, the legal version or the pirate version, in all the characteristics can be modeled using conic optimization.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.